We're back at Lakeside Lanes in Manchester, New Hampshire for the second and final string of the inaugural Women's Pro Series playoffs final match. And coming into this second and final string, Lois Queen, who is on the right lane, has got a 2-pin lead because she had a 100 in the first game against Judy Bowden's 98. Both bowlers with head pin hits in the first box, but they both leave difficult splits. And let's see what... Well, now Judy has the back row, 7, 8, 9, 10 left. Lois looking at the 6 and 10, and she converts those for a 10 box. Judy almost takes out the back row. She gets out of that box with a 9. That adds 1 pin to Lois Queen's lead, so she's up by 3. Lois with another nice head pin hit, but a little bit on the full side, and she leaves a big 5. Meanwhile, Judy Bowden missed the head pin, but got some backdoor pin action and is left with the 8 pin, but she has some wood out in front that is, well, as you can see, it was pretty tricky. It was way out in front of that 8 pin, and she had to hit it pretty high and push it straight back, and sometimes that's hard to do when you have multiple pieces of wood out there. Anyway, it's a 10 box for Judy and a 9 for Lois, so it's 19 to 19 in this string, and it's back to a 2-pin lead for Lois Queen. In the third box, that is a strike for Lois Queen. On the replay, you will see sort of a mixer 1-3 pocket hit. The 4 pin is the last one to go. Judy Bowden with a very similar 1-3 pocket hit, but she's left with a 4, 7, 10 split piece of wood sort of in the middle of the lane. Hard to tell what, she didn't even try to use it. She was going at the 4-7, maybe trying to kick the 4 over into the 10. And it's going to be an 8. That wood really wasn't of much use. So Judy takes an 8 for 27 after 3. That means that Lois Queen is leading by 4 plus whatever she can put on the strike. And she drops 5, leaving 1, 2, 4, 8, and 10. And Lois with a nice bid on that spare. 10 pin doesn't quite go, but she does put a 9 fill on the strike. And she gets a 10 in the 4th. Judy Bowden also records the 10. But with the strike, Lois Queen now has a 13 pin lead through 4. And she punches out the half whisper right in the 5th box. Just takes out the 3 and 9. Judy on the head pin again, but she's got another split. This one is 6, 7, 9, and 10. There's a piece of wood to the left of the 9 pin that might give her some help, but she wasn't able to activate it. She just hit 2 full on the 6 pin. And Lois, after going through the 3-pin hole, is able to get 4 on the left side for a 6 box, while Judy makes a 10. So you can see that that cuts 4 pins off the lead, and through 5, Lois Queen is leading by 9. She's leading by 7 in this string, plus the 2 she had coming in. So as they switch lanes, that will be a 9-pin lead for Lois. Judy misses a head pin to the right, and Lois does as well. Judy leaves the 1, 2, 4, 7, 9, otherwise known as the Caleri. And she hits the head pin kind of thin on the right side, takes out the 1 and 7. And Lois misses the head pin left, so both Judy and Lois will be open in the 6th. And Judy will take an 8. Lois will take a 9. She just barely brushed the head pin, but knocked it over. So that adds a pin to her lead. And once again, it's a 10-pin lead for Lois Queen through 6. 63 to 55 in this string, and then she had the 2 pins coming in. Lois with a 8 drop, leaving the 2-4. Judy had a, I think that's a 6, just the 1, 2, 4, and 6. But she went through the 3-pin hole there, and she ends up with a 9 box. Meanwhile, Lois Queen hit the object pin on the 2-4, but she just got a little bit too much of the 2 and punched it out. But she picks up another pin. That makes it a 11-pin lead for Lois Queen through 7. Judy Bowden with a nice 1-2 pocket hit, leaving the 5-8. And Lois Queen also with an 8 drop. She's got the 5 and 7 and a pretty good piece of wood on the right side of the 5, and also another one between the 5 and 7 as Judy converts the 5-8 for a spare. And Lois just went a little bit too far to the left and just caught the cap of the wood. She didn't get over on that right side of the wood to sweep it over into the, kick the 5 over into the 7. So Lois will take a 9 in the 8th. And Lois has got 82 through 8. Judy Bowden with 74, and she'll add 6. That makes it a 4-pin lead for Lois Queen. 2 in this string and the 2 coming in. Judy Bowden is looking at 3, 5, 6, and 10. And she makes it. That's a clutch spare in the 9th. Let's see if Lois can match it with this 7-10 with some pretty good wood, and she makes it. So Lois maintains that 4-pin lead. And coming into the 10th box, or well, as they throw their fill ball in the 9th, these fill balls are extremely important. See if Lois can maintain that 4-pin lead. Judy drops 8. And Lois with just 2, taking out the half Worcester on the left side. So that makes it a 2-pin lead for Judy Bowden, and that's a big turnaround, because that means that if she gets anything here, if she gets the 1, Lois has to convert the half Worcester. And she doesn't, not able to do it, so that means that Judy Bowden is going to be the winner of this match. She takes a 10 in the last box, and Lois Queen will take a 9. Judy Bowden has 108 and Lois with 103. So we'll take a look at the scoreboard, and you'll see that Judy Bowden wins this match by 3 pins, 206 to 203, right down to the wire, down to the last box. And Judy Bowden with that 206 wins the inaugural Pro Series, Women's Pro Series playoff tournament at the capping off this 2011-2012 season. Lois Queen wins her first 3 matches before losing to Judy, so she comes in second in this event. Excellent bowling by both bowlers all day, and this exciting, low-scoring but very close final. And we will see you next fall with the Women's Pro Series.